Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 8, Book 73, number 226. Narrated by Osama bin Zaid. That Allah's apostle rode over a donkey covered with a fadakiyah, velvet sheet, and Osama was riding behind him. He was visiting Sa'd bin Ubadah, who was sick, in the dwelling place of Bani al-Harith bin al-Khazraj, and this incident happened before the Battle of Badr. They proceeded till they passed by a gathering in which Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul was present. And that was before Abdullah bin Ubat embraced Islam. In that gathering there were Muslims, pagan idolaters and Jews, and among the Muslims there was Abdullah bin Rawaha. When a cloud of dust raised by the movement of the animal covered that gathering, Abdullah bin Ubay covered his nose with his garment and said, "Do not cover us with dust." Allah's apostle greeted them, stopped, dismounted and invited them to Allah, i.e. to embrace Islam, and recited to them the Holy Quran. On that, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul said to him, "O man, there is nothing better than what you say, if it is the truth. So do not trouble us with it in our gatherings, but if somebody comes to you, you can preach to him." On that, Abdullah bin Rawaha said, "Yes, O Allah's apostle. Call on us in our gathering, for we love that." So the Muslims, the pagans and the Jews started abusing one another till they were about to fight with one another. Allah's apostle kept on quietening them till all of them became quiet, and then Allah's apostle rode his animal and proceeded till he entered upon Sa'd bin Ubadah. Allah's apostle said, "O Sa'd, didn't you hear what Abu Habab said?" Meaning, Abdullah bin Unbar. He said so and so. Sa'd bin Ubadah said, "O Allah's apostle, let my father be sacrificed for you. Excuse and forgive him, for, by him who revealed to you the book, Allah sent the truth which was revealed to you at the time when the people of this town had decided to crown him, Abdullah bin Ubay, as their ruler. So when Allah had prevented that with the truth he had given you, he was choked by that, and that caused him to behave in such an impolite manner which you had noticed. So Allah's apostle excused him. It was the custom of Allah's apostle and his companions to excuse the pagans and the people of the scripture, Christians and Jews, as Allah ordered them, and they used to be patient when annoyed by them. Allah said, "You shall certainly hear much that will grieve you from those who received the scripture before you. And from the pagans." 3.186. He also said, "Many of the people of the scripture wish that if they could turn you away as disbelievers after you have believed." 2.109. So Allah's apostle used to apply what Allah had ordered him by excusing them till he was allowed to fight against them. When Allah's apostle had fought the battle of Badr and Allah killed whomever he killed among the chiefs of the infidels and the nobles of Quraysh, and Allah's apostle and his companions had returned with victory and booty, bringing with them some of the chiefs of the infidels and the nobles of the Quraysh as captives. Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul and the pagan idolaters who were with him said, "This matter, Islam, has now brought out its face, triumphed, so give Allah's apostle the pledge of allegiance, for embracing Islam." Then they became Muslims. Volume 8, Book 73, number 227. Narrated by Abdullah bin al-Harith bin Nawfal. Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib said, "O Allah's Apostle, did you benefit Abu Talib with anything as he used to protect and take care of you, and used to become angry for you?" The Prophet said, "Yes, he is in a shallow place of fire. But for me he would have been in the lowest part of the fire." Volume 8, Book 73, number 228. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. Once the Prophet was on one of his journeys, and the driver of the camels started chanting, to let the camels go fast. The Prophet said to him, "Take care, drive slowly with the glass vessels, O Anjasha. Wayhaka, may Allah be merciful to you." Volume 8, Book 73, number 229. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet was on a journey and a slave named Anjasha was chanting, singing, for the camels to let them go fast, while driving. The Prophet said, "O Anjasha, drive slowly, the camels, with the glass vessels." Abu Kilaba said, by the glass vessels he meant the women, riding the camels. Volume 8, Book 73, number 230. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet had a camel driver, called Anjasha, and he had a nice voice. The Prophet said to him, "Drive slowly, O Anjasha. Do not break the glass vessels." And Qatada said, by vessels, he meant the weak women. Volume 8, Book 73, number 231. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. There was a state of fear in Medina. Allah's Apostle rode a horse belonging to Abu Talha, in order to see the matter. The Prophet said, "We could not see anything, and we found that horse like a sea, fast in speed." Volume 8, Book 73, number 232. Narrated by Aisha. Some people asked Allah's Apostle about the foretellers. Allah's Apostle said to them, "They are nothing, i.e., liars." The people said, "O Allah's Apostle, sometimes they tell something which comes out to be true." Allah's Apostle said, "That word which comes to be true is what a jinx snatches away by stealing and then pours it in the ear of his foreteller with a sound similar to the cackle of a hen, and then they add to it 100 lies. Volume 8, Book 73, number 233. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. That he heard Allah's Apostle saying, "Then there was a pause in the revelation of the divine inspiration to me. Then while I was walking all of a sudden I heard a voice from the sky, and I raised my sight towards the sky and saw the same angel who had visited me in the cave of Hira, sitting on a chair between the sky and the earth." Volume 8, Book 73, number 234. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Once I stayed overnight at the house of Maimuna and the Prophet was there with her. When it was the last third of the night, or some part of the night, the Prophet got up looking towards the sky and recited, "Verily, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and in the alternation of night and day, there are indeed signs for men of you understanding." 3.190.